Hi, my name is Stephen Magee, and I'm the author of Hypoxia, Mental Illness, and Chronic Fatigue. And we're here to talk about the super toxic Salem Police Department. So this is a Salem Police Department report that I've obtained. I had an encounter with a very unexpected encounter with the Salem Police Department. These reports cost about $23 to obtain from them. As I was preparing to leave, I observed Stephen Magee. Again, it's the wrong Stephen Magee, that's not me. I'm Magee, I'm not MCGEE. Walking through the park. So what was going on here was I had placed a call to the police after he didn't show up to my 911 call. I told them I was leaving. I told them I was going home. I was done with being messed around by the police. So I was on my way home. I was walking through the park. It was a very isolated part of the park in the middle of a field. And he cruises up behind me very, very quietly. I wasn't even aware he was there until he came past me. And I'm like mystified, like, I told them 911 people I was leaving because they hadn't shown up. So like, why is this police officer suddenly decided to show up in a very isolated part of the park in the middle of a field? And if you watch the video that I'm going to show you, you'll see his car is sitting in the middle of a grassy field and there's no witnesses. So he has decided to make contact with me in a very remote, isolated part of the park that is free of witnesses. And that's a very serious dynamic to be alone with a police officer in. So he's not doing his job, and now he's decided he's going to stop me in a remote area of the park. And I'm like wondering, like, what's going on? So I pull my video camera and I start recording him. So if you're ever in that situation, in fact, any situation with the police, you should be recording them. It doesn't matter how benign the situation is, because they're a pack of liars. They're known to assault people and they're known to kill people. And then they just deny that they did anything wrong, and they generally get away with it. So it's a very, very serious dynamic to end up in with the police. You want to avoid being alone with an armed police officer. You do not want to be in that situation. So I find myself in this very, very serious lone situation. I'm on my own. The police officer's on his own. I'm standing in the middle of a field with no witnesses to witness what's going on with us. So it was a very scary dynamic. I drove into the park and made contact with him north of the carousel in the grassy field. So yes, we were in the grassy field. Stephen Magee, again, that's not me. My name is not spelled like that. I don't know who this guy is, but we do find out later in the report who he's talking about. And it's not me. Upon contact, immediately grabbed his camera and started to record. Yes, I felt very threatened by his presence at that point because he hadn't shown up to my 911 calls. And now he's got me in the middle of a field on my own with no witnesses. And that's a very scary situation. I asked Stephen Magee, that's not me. That's not how you spell my name. It's a completely different person, and we will see that later. How I could help him. Stephen Magee, that's not me. A completely different person. Told me he wanted to file a police report about harassment and to file a complaint against the deputy who was in the park and did nothing. I explained to Stephen that the Parks Department works in the park and were employees. I also told Stephen that I would take a report for him and get him a case number. I also told Stephen if he wanted to file a complaint, he could call the Sheriff's Department to do so. Stephen asked for the number and I told him he could find it on his own. So I asked him for the number and he refused to give it to me. I wanted it in writing because I have amnesia disorder. I talk about it in here. It's called Amnesiac disorder. Just means you're forgetful and you need things in writing. So he refused to write the sheriff's phone number down for me. He doesn't mention that in the report. And the other thing is, he doesn't mention that. I actually told him I have mental illness. There's no mention of it in here. Completely disappeared my mental illness out of the story. So I found that very, very concerning that that just got disappeared. And he doesn't mention that. He was refusing to give me the phone number in writing. Okay, so I'm going to show you the video of that. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. My complaint is actually about these people, the groundskeepers of the park. They're in various locations. When I walked into the park, they started harassing me. I was just minding my own business. And I need to file a police report about it. So they're in force today for some reason in the park, and they engaged in all kinds of weird harassment behaviors with me. So I'd like to report that, and I need a case number. I also need to file a police complaint against the sheriff who was in attendance and did nothing.
Okay. So, for starters, they work here, Stephen. It's the city parks for the city of Salem. Okay, they're doing work. All right. And case number, I will get you a case number. I'll be taking a report.
Okay.
And you need to call the sheriff if you want to file a complaint against a deputy.
Can I have their number?
You're an adult. You can find it. It's on the internet.
Okay. So I'd like you to give me the number of the sheriff.
It's not going to happen.
Why not?
Because you're an adult, okay? And you can do it.
I have mental health issues.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Can I help you out in any way with your mental health?
Yeah, I need the sheriff's number so I can file a complaint.
Well, mental health, okay? I can deal with that. I can help you, and I can give you all the resources that you need.
I'm after the sheriff's number. I'm after the sheriff's number.
You have a phone in your pocket. You can look it up on your own, on Google.
So you're saying that you won't give me the sheriff's number to file a police complaint?
Okay, because you're a big man, and you can do it on your own.
Well, I do actually have documented mental health issues, so...
Okay, that's nice.
So,
welcome
that
to Salem.
doesn't work. Okay. I'm after the number. Why won't you give me the number?
Look it up on your phone.
Why won't you give me the number? My phone's not connected to the internet.
Okay, go to the library.
The libraries are closed.
Okay. No, they're not.
What time is the library opening hours?
8 to 5.
Are you sure about that?
Yep.
There's been a lot of changes in the libraries around here recently.
No, there hasn't, actually.
There has. I've seen this. So as you could see, he did not give me the sheriff's phone number so I could file a complaint after I told him I had mental illness, and I was requesting it in writing because my mental illness is an amnesiac disorder, which means I need to have things in writing. So he's refusing to give a person that has amnesiac disorder things in writing. And it's a big point of relevance, the location that this took place in, because one of the most famous mental illness films in history was recorded in the town of Salem, Oregon, USA. And it starred Jack Nicholson and is called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And in Salem, Oregon, you will find the Museum of Mental Health, which is dedicated to that movie. The movie won an Oscar, and I was curious as to what he would do with my mental illness diagnosis, and I was shocked at how he behaved after I told him I had a mental illness diagnosis. So I don't believe he knows I'm a police corruption researcher, so that's the other funny thing going on with this police report. If you have an encounter with the Salem Police Department, I wish you the very best of luck, because you are totally going to need it. You're going to find yourself in a very, very toxic situation at times with this particular police department. I just feel so sorry for you if you come into contact with them. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and I wish you the very best of health. Thank you.